Hey guys, welcome to another episode of Penang Watch Guy. Today, instead of another watch review, I think it's time we talked about traveling instead. But you're right, this isn't a travel channel, so just what am I on about? Well, I'm going to talk about traveling to the world's largest watch shows, the SIHH and Baselworld. That's right guys, we're going to Switzerland. Now, in case you're not aware, the SIHH is one of the biggest trade shows for the watch industry aside from Baselworld. In the past and up until 2019, SIHH and Baselworld are both held separately in January and March respectively. This forces people who are in the industry like collectors, brand sponsors, the media, to make two trips to Switzerland if they want or are required to attend both events. Luckily, this will change in the year 2020 when both shows will finally sync their calendars together in April, so people won't have to choose which shows to attend anymore. Naturally, this is good news for everybody, but first, let's take a look at a few reasons why you should consider going in the first place. Whether you have a dozen watches in your collection, or you are just someone who's really into timepieces, both SIHH and Baselworld provide strong reasons for you to attend. If you've never attended either one before, the best time to make plans is now. Tickets are usually sold 2 to 3 months prior to the event dates, so be sure to check their websites regularly for updates. The first major reason why you should attend these events is obviously the world premiere of never before seen models from famous brands. There will also be talks and conferences held by some of the most reputable people in the industry, where you can also take the opportunity to catch up with them and understand what is their company's latest news, where their direction might be headed in the future, and most importantly, how those plans will affect you as the consumer. Naturally, if you're a blogger or YouTuber like myself, these events will give you lots of things to discuss with your audience. I always believe that the watch industry is not a one-way operation. Brands can't just expect customers to continue throwing money without listening to what they want. SIHH and Baselworld provide just that, a communication platform for both parties to better understand each other. The SIHH is held in Geneva, while Baselworld is held in, obviously, the city of Basel. Both places are of course in Switzerland, but there is some distance to cover on land if you want to visit both events. It will take 3 hours by train to get from one destination to the other, which isn't that bad if you're planning to do some sightseeing in between. Just take note that Switzerland is a beautiful country, but it is also relatively expensive, even under European standards. For accommodations, hotels are usually booked very early in advance, and the prices are usually substantially higher than other seasons. My recommendation would be to stay in neighboring towns, maybe not more than an hour away by train, or if you can get an affordable Airbnb in town itself, then go for it. So here's what you can expect. First of all, if you're not invited by any watch brand, nor are you in media, then the SIHH will only be open to the public on the last day, and even then not for a full day, it's only open on the second half of the day. Baselworld, however, doesn't seem to have such a limitation based on their website, and the show will be open to the public throughout the entire 5 days, so you have plenty of time to get to know the brands that are on display there. You can also expect some of the biggest brands to be in both shows, although recently some have announced that they are pulling out from both SIHH and Baselworld altogether. So my advice to you is, before you decide if you're going to attend, make sure that your favorite brands are going to be there first, and then decide whether it's still worth going. I mean, Audemars Piguet might not be there, Rolex might not be there, but if you're just somebody who loves watches, then there's still plenty of brands for you to completely salivate over. Then of course you will be amongst the tens, maybe even hundreds of thousands of people there. But don't worry, you won't be crushed, as the event space is very large. You will also have the chance to meet some of the biggest names in the industry, plus you might even get to spot some celebrity ambassadors who are spending time there. Then of course, you will get to see the many new lines of watches that will be released to the market in the coming months. Most of these watches will be behind display cases under heavy guard duty, but if you ask nicely enough, the attendants might actually bring them out for you to have a quick look, maybe even snap a few photos. If you ask really nicely, however, you may even be invited into a private room where brands usually keep their most pricey pieces for their most esteemed guests. And hey, who says the fun has to be done once the events are over? You're in Switzerland, you can spend some time visiting or just going around, take a vacation. I've been there and it's a beautiful place. So if you love watches and you're in dire need of a vacation, then there's no better place to do both at once. I bid you all safe travels, and I will see you at Baselworld 2020. Until next time, Penang Watch Guy out.